to bring to order the meeting of the Caroline County School Board. At this time, we'd like a roll call, please.
Mr. Sean Kelly, Mrs. Tinka Harris, Mrs. Nancy Carson, Mr. George Spalding, Mr. John Copeland, Dr. Ronald Sells, and Mrs. Superintendent, Dr. George Parker.
Thank you. The invocation will be conducted by Mr. George Spalding.
Close bow. Heavenly Father, Lord, again, thank you for this opportunity to come and work on the problems that our schools have and straighten them out. Lord, you be with us and help us make the wise decisions. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
At this time, our flag will be presented by the Caroline High School Color Guard, led by Cadet Lieutenant MacArthur, and Color Guard Commander Staff Sergeant Farmer.
Hey, everybody. Color ready, cut. Code word, march.
Please stand as you are able.
Mark time, march. Color turn, march. Color, ho. Breathe, then, off.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, arm. Color ready, cut. Color turn, march. Forward, march. Forward, arm.
You may be seated.
Tight corner.
It is customary in January of each year for the school board to have a organizational meeting, which is initially conducted by the superintendent, who will oversee the election of a board chairman. So at this time, I will entertain nominations for Caroline County School Board Chairman.
I nominate Ms. Nancy Carson.
Nomination for Nancy Carson. There's a second. Are there any additional nominations? Okay. There having none, we will hold a vote. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? We'd like to congratulate Mrs. Nancy Carson for the election to the board as board chairman. And I will turn over the gavel at this time.
At this time, we will need to appoint a new vice chairperson. We will entertain any people who have someone to bring forward.
I'd like to nominate Ms. Tinka Harris.
Is there any discussion?
Second. Nominate Dr. Adams.
Okay, we have one seconded for Mrs. Harris, and then we have another nomination on the floor for Ms. Fells. Is there a second for that? All those in favor of Ms. Harris as vice chairperson signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? This time we have a new vice chair, that will be Ms. Tinka Harris. Congratulations, Ms. Harris. Now we will have appointment of the clerk of the school board.
Yes, Mrs. Chairman, at this time, Mrs. Lindsay has indicated her interest in remaining in the position of the board clerk, and Mrs. Short at this time as the board vice clerk or assistant clerk. So at this time, I would recommend the consideration of Ms. Dolly Lindsay as the board clerk.
Nominate Dolly Lindsay for clerk of the school board.
Second.
All those in favor of Ms. Lindsay signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Congratulations, Ms. Lindsay, for our condolences. And at this time, Dr. Parker, we need a designee for,
We will need to vote on Mrs. Short as the deputy clerk at this time.
I nominate Mrs. Short as deputy clerk of the school board.
Second.
I have a question. Ms. Short, it is rumored possibly that you may be thinking about retiring in the end of this school year. If that would be the case, would you want to go forward, or would you like us to entertain looking at someone else? Not to put you on the spot or anything.
That is a possibility. I'll be looking at the time I retire, if you all prefer to get someone else to do the year. That's where we are going.
At the pleasure of the board.
Ms. Short, then.
I don't have a problem with a short tenure if that's what it turns out.
All right, Ms. Short, our condolences. I think you will be that for until further notice. If that would be fine with you. Okay, thank you so much. The call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Definitely you are going to be our backup lady. At this time, we'll have appointment of designees of the division superintendent to attend meetings of the school board in the absence of the superintendent.
Yes, Mrs. Chairman, at this time, I would nominate Dr. Sarah Calvert as my designee. Should I be in absentia during a board meeting or a prior meeting of the superintendent?
I'd like to nominate Dr. Sarah Calvert as the designee of the division superintendent to attend meetings of the school board in the absence of the superintendent.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, Ms. Calvert, Dr. Calvert. At this time, we will need to set school board meeting dates, time, and place.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to nominate or use the same dates that we used, excuse me, this past year, second Monday of each month, with the workshop beginning at 4:30 and our regular meeting beginning at 5:30.
There is also the April date where we're meeting the first Monday in April, which is the date being April 3rd. That date was changed as a result of the budget work sessions. So that would be the only exception, Madam Chair, to the scheduled meeting the second Monday of each month.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion's carried. Thank you very much. At this time, we will move forward with awards, recognitions, commendations, etc. Recognition of Principal Appreciation Week with Dr. Herbert Monroe.
Thank you. I guess now it is Chairwoman Carson, Assistant Chair Harris, members of the board, and guests here this evening. Greetings, Caroline County Public School families and community supporters. On behalf of Chairwoman Spalding, Vice Chair Harris, and the Caroline County Public School Board, Dr. Parker, and the senior leadership team, we are pleased to announce that Caroline County Public Schools will be recognized on January 23rd through the 27th, 2017 as Principal's Appreciation Week. The role of the principal as the instructional leader of the school is critical and is critically important to ensure students are provided the opportunity to learn. Our principals work diligently to help students and teachers excel, and their leadership and hard work are essential to the success of all of our schools. They truly deserve all of the recognition and praise that we can give them. We encourage all students, staff, parents, and supporters of Caroline County Public Schools to celebrate, recognize, and show their and our appreciation to our principals during the week of January 23rd through the 27th. At this time, I would like to ask that our principals come forward to be recognized and to be presented a proclamation from our governor, as well as some very special gifts from the senior staff of Caroline County Public Schools. At this time, can we give our principals a round of applause as they come forward? To the furthest away from the podium, we have Principal Michelle Jones of Bowling Green Elementary School. Can we give her a round of applause? Next to her, we have Mrs. Therese Haley of Madison Elementary School. Can we give her a round of applause? And next to her, we have Miss Cindy Ara of Lewis and Clark Elementary School. Can we give her a round of applause? And next to her is Miss Angela Wright of Caroline Middle School. Can we give her a round of applause? And last but not least, we have Mr. Jeff Wick, who is principal of Caroline High School. Can we give all of our principals a round of applause? At this time, we would like any family members or special guests of our leadership here in Caroline County to please stand and be recognized. We have any parents or friends of our distinguished guests here this evening, or colleagues, or anyone else? Okay, Sister Principal. Yes. Thank you. And at this time, I would ask that our principals, you're going to go on stage, you're going to shake everyone's hand who is on stage, and we're all going to get together for a picture as well. Okay? So at this time, why don't we all come on up? Thank you. Come on up.
Everyone look here, please. Hold up. One more. Give them one more round of applause.
Sorry. Just sitting here waiting. This time we'll have recognition of the second quarter ABCD recipient with Dr. Sarah Calvera.
Good evening, Chair Carson, Vice Chair Harris, members of the board, and Dr. Parker. I am thrilled to return for the second quarter ABCD Above and Beyond the Call of Duty Award recognition. We are experiencing some minor technical difficulties, so at some point you may find that a PowerPoint pops up behind you. However, until then, I will verbally share all of the accolades associated with our 3 recipients for the second quarter. The ABCD Award recognizes any employee who goes above and beyond the call of duty in performing his or her job responsibilities. Any employee may be nominated by a fellow CCPS colleague for this award. Once nominated, all of the nominees are reviewed through a blind review process. We are looking for someone who has done one or more of the following 3 attributes. They have made a significant contribution that improved job efficiency, the quality of services, improved safety, or conserved resources. We are looking for someone who may have performed a humanitarian or a heroic act. Or, the third criteria, someone who responded proactively by anticipating needs and solving problems without specific direction. I am excited to call forward our partner in this recognition. At this time, if Vince Wilson, our representative from Grand Canyon University, would come forward. Grand Canyon University has provided a monetary donation which helps support not only the purchase of our frames, but also each recipient through the 4 quarters will receive a $50 recognition in their paycheck. So keep your eye open for that extra $50. I would first like to call forward Lucretia James, paraeducator of Lewis and Clark Elementary School. Ms. James, may remain standing while I read this lovely note written by, I believe, one of your administrators. Ms. James is an outstanding paraprofessional and leader. She is always willing to help and give her time to any student. She goes above and beyond. She goes the extra mile for each student she works with and builds a relationship with each one. This year, Ms. James has really gone above and beyond to earn this award. She started the school year in the autism special education classroom, which required Lucretia's assistance with managing some challenging behaviors. When the need for a positive paraprofessional developed in the new emotional disability classroom, Ms. James's ability to make connections with this group of students became immediately to mind. When approached with the change of placement, Lucretia accepted without hesitation. Ms. James always displays a positive attitude and her energy is contagious. She not only helps students academically with specific skills, but also with social skills. She is their cheerleader and role model. These are just a few examples of how she goes above and beyond the call of duty for Lewis and Clark Elementary School students. She truly invests her time, mind, and spirit in doing what is best for kids each day. Congratulations to Miss James. We have a fabulous plaque and pin and a gift bag from Grand Canyon. We are going to ask that all three of our recipients remain standing in the corner of the stage for a final photo opportunity. Our second recipient, Miss Elizabeth Mitchell, paraeducator, Madison Elementary School. Please come forward, Miss Mitchell. Unfortunately, I'm afraid the change in date may prohibit her from attending, but I would like to take a moment to recognize Miss Mitchell's wonderful job performance. She goes above and beyond her paraeducator duties on a daily basis. She does anything that is asked of her without complaint and does so with a smile on her face. She makes the teacher's job easier by helping reach all levels of learners. Mrs. Mitchell will work with children on a one-on-one basis in a small group or within a large group setting without hesitation. She loves all children and wants to help them any way she can. She offers tutoring to children in her community who she knows need it during her free time. Mrs. Mitchell will spend her own time replicating a seasoned teacher's math, science, and history notebooks to then give them to a new teacher to help her get started. She gives up her lunchtime to help students. She comes into school with ideas and suggestions to benefit the children discussed in previous conversations. She shares ideas received in one classroom with others and is always open to constructive criticism. Mrs. Mitchell is a great asset to Madison Elementary School. It is awesome to come to work each day and know that she is there to help set teaching into motion. If there is one person who deserves this award and does not receive enough credit for all she does, it is Mrs. Elizabeth Mitchell. And I would like to ask that the principal of Madison Elementary School please come forward and receive this recognition on her honor. Our third and final recipient, Rob Perkins, licensed electrician, maintenance. Mr. Perkins, please come forward. The maintenance department is lucky to have licensed electrician Rob Perkins. Not only is Mr. Perkins a hard and dedicated worker, adding electrical outlets, changing ballasts, and fixing things at all of the school facilities on a daily basis, he often goes above and beyond on many things. Rob volunteers at many of the high school sporting events and handles many things that come up on the spot. Rob answers before and after our calls no matter what the issue and is normally the first one to respond. Mr. Perkins also assists the technology department with many projects. Most recently, he saved the county thousands of dollars by taking on a huge project of running cable for the installation of new security cameras. Even though Rob's specialty trade is being an electrician, he is always willing to do whatever needs to be done. One final example was this fall, Rob eagerly took the opportunity to help beautify all of the schools by aerating and spreading grass seeds. Mr. Perkins is absolutely an asset to the maintenance department in Caroline County Public Schools. Congratulations and thank you for all you do. We ask that Dr. Parker and Mr. Wilson please join our recipients on stage for a photo opportunity at this time.
Right here, please. One more.
word on the street from Mr. Hoden is that Mr. Perkins is also a tremendous snow remover.
At this time, we will have a recognition of the CEF Innovation Grant, the Caroline Educational Foundation Innovation Grant, and that will be with Dr. Calvert.
Good evening again, Chair Carson, Vice Chair Harris, members of the board, and Dr. Barker. I am excited to be with you this evening on behalf of the Caroline Education Foundation Innovation Grant. This was an inaugural year for this activity, and we are pleased to have 3/4, and you'll understand what I mean momentarily, recipients of this innovation grant. The mission of the CEF Foundation is that we develop and sustain community and business partnerships and serve as effective stewards of resources to create quality educational opportunities that promote high performance in all students in Caroline County schools. The Growth and Innovation Grant embodies the spirit of CEF mission. This evening, I would like to take just a brief moment to help you understand how people were selected for the Innovation Grant. The purpose of the grant was to encourage and reward innovative classroom instructional teachers who are utilizing techniques that are supportive of college and career readiness, technology integration, critical thinking and problem solving, STEM or STEAM, project-based learning, student leadership, collaboration, etc. The list is not exhaustive, but the possibilities are endless. There were 5 main criteria for selection. The proposals must be detailed in the following areas. They must meet a compelling need of the classroom and of our student body. They must embed success logistics. They must promote efficiency and value, reflect innovation and engagement, and they must, by all importance, deliver results that demonstrate impact. I am pleased to announce our first recipient of the evening, Miss Samantha Hall, Lewis and Clark Elementary School first grade teacher. Miss Hall, please come forward while we read a description. Ms. Hall submitted an innovation grant associated with movement to increase learning. She is the recipient of $475. She has requested 6 wobble chairs and 2 wobble cushions. These will be utilized to help students who may potentially have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or autism or just plain old need to get the wiggles out. It will help them remain actively participating in the instruction, and it will help them stay focused. Congratulations. Thank you so much for your submission. And please also come up to the corner of the stage for a joint photo opportunity. Our second recipient is actually 2 people, so I would like to invite forward Mr. Dwayne Parker, CMS School Counselor, and Mrs. Angela Wright, School Principal. Mr. Parker and Mrs. Wright submitted a co-grant looking for additional funds to support the Watchdogs program, Dads of Great Students, but also to supplement that endeavor with a program called MORE. This implementation is to provide greater access to positive male role models for students, as research shows that the presence of male figures provides an additional deterrent to bullying and enhances a sense of security in the building, develops male leaders, and helps create an environment conducive to learning. Their $500 will be used to purchase a Watchdogs startup kit, t-shirts, and a Spanish implementation guide. Congratulations, Mrs. Wright and Mr. Parker. Our final recipient of this evening is Mr. Joseph Robinson, Madison Elementary School, ITRT. Excuse me, I believe that is a typo on my part. You are actually at Bowling Green Elementary, aren't you? Okay, thank you so much for verifying that. Mr. Robinson submitted a Growth and Innovation Grant for STEM, STEAM, or Does It Matter? He's a recipient of $500, and he hopes to successfully implement STEAM and through the use of these new items that he will be able to purchase called a Fly Bricks kit. The Flybricks kit is a drone constructed from Lego bricks. It's controlled by an application on a tablet, diagnostics are tested on a computer, and designed to repeatedly withstand several trial and error periods. He will utilize this with 5th graders this year in a review scenario, but future students will be able to utilize this during direct instruction of the content throughout the school year. Congratulations to Mr. Robinson from BGES, and please join our other recipients on stage for a photo opportunity. While Mr. Robinson is coming up on stage, I would like to take a moment to recognize anyone that is on the Caroline Education Foundation. Please stand and be recognized for your efforts. Thank you so much.
Let's have Dr. Whitcomb, he's on the board. And let's have-
Mr. Webb, would you please join the photo? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good luck.
At this time, we will have the Caroline Middle School History Club award by the Caroline Historical Society. And Dr. Joanne Jones, if you would come down and start the ball rolling. Thank you.
Good evening, Vice Chair Carson. Good evening, Chair Carson, Vice Chair Harris, members of the board, and Dr. Parker. It gives me great pleasure to recognize the Caroline Middle School History Club. Each year, the Caroline Historical Society presents an award to a person or organization that has excelled in promoting and or pursuing history within Caroline County for the benefit of the residents and visitors. The Board of Directors and officers of the Caroline Historical Society are proud to announce that this year's overwhelming choice for the award goes to sponsors and members of the Caroline Middle School History Club. This deserving award goes to them for their tireless efforts in creating, planning, and managing the construction of the Korean War Memorial Garden. Through the Caroline Middle School's History Club efforts, they have become ambassadors of history for Caroline County. The sponsors are Sarah Gibson and Ruth Judd. And they would come forward at this time along with Mr. Wayne Brooks from the Caroline Historical Society, who will present them with this award. Thank you.
Madam Chair, board members, Dr. Parker, thank you very much for allowing us to come here tonight. It is with great pleasure that the Caroline Historical Society presents this award to the Caroline Middle School History Club. What a great organization. I know you're proud, the county's proud, and it's overwhelming what they have done, and we're so proud of y'all. I'd like to read briefly what the certificate of award says. It says, presented to the sponsors and members of the Caroline Middle School History Club for outstanding efforts in preserving and promoting history locally, statewide, nationally, and internationally
as demonstrated through the creation of the 38th Parallel Parade Memorial Garden. It is with great pleasure that I present this to you. On this award, it has what I just stated, but it also lists the sponsors and all the members of the club. Thank you all very much. Congratulations. 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 Keep up the good work.
At this time, we will have citizen comments. Ms. Lindsay, do we have any? No. Okay. Is there anyone at this time that would like to come forward? Okay. And we will move on to the consent agenda. For the approval of minutes, school board workshop, December 12, 2016, regular meeting, December 12, 2016, approval of monthly bills and financial reports, vendor payments, budget status report, payments related to CHS construction projects in Caroline County. Excuse me, went a little bit too far.
Madam Chair, I move for approval of the consent agenda as listed.
Are there any questions? Call for the vote.
Mr. Copeland?
Aye.
Mrs. Rollins? Mrs. Harris? Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Spalding?
Aye.
Mrs. Harris? Ms. Carson?
Aye. At this time, we need to approve payments related to the CHS Construction Company projects in Caroline County with Mr. Jeffrey Homan.
I can rewrite my whole speech. Dan Carson, Ms. Harris, members of the board, Dr. Parker, come through tonight seeking approval for payments for this month's payments for the renovations at Caroline High School. Payment requested for Southwood Construction, the amount of $408,053.92. OWPR for $10,000. Honeywell, $27,535. Clerker Works, $2,100. Mobile Meeting, $136.51. Martin Marietta, $84.36. Pepco, $17,304.31. Claridge, $2,638. Precision Door, $3,874.50. For a total of $471,726.60.
Madam Chair, I move for approval of payments related to CHS Construction in the amount of $471,726.60.
Is there any question? Call for the vote.
Mr. Copeland? Ms. Copeland?
Aye.
Mrs. Dr. Rollins-Fells? Mrs. Harris? Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mrs. Spalding?
Aye.
Ms. Carson?
Aye. At this time, we are going to go to approval of policy KK-school visitors for Dr. Okay, Jeffrey, keep on going, please.
Sorry.
Okay, that's fine, I'm sorry.
Again, Chairman Carson, Ms. Harris, members of the board, Dr. Parker. It is with great pleasure that I bring you the payment request for Madison Construction for this month, because it's probably the smallest one we've made since this project started. As we're getting to the end of that project, which I'll in Lakeview on later. But we have a request from OWPR for $1,850 and Honeywell for $5,934. A total of $7,784.
I move we approve $7,784 for Madison Elementary School, Madison MES construction project.
Any further discussion? Call for the vote.
Mrs. Spalding?
Aye.
Mrs. Harris? Mr. Copeland?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Dr. Rollins? Ms. Carson?
Aye. Motion carried. Thank you. All right. I have skipped around a little bit. I'm sorry. So next, we're going to go to action items for the approval of policy KK-school visitors with Dr. Herman. Dr. Monroe, I'm sorry I have jumped ahead of this. But anyway, coming back to you.
It is fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Chair Carson. Madam Chair, Vice Chair Harris, members of the board, and Dr. Parker. An overview of the proposed revisions to policy KK school visitors was shared during the December board meeting that included an additional section to address trespassing, as well as visitors. Feedback and recommendations were given by the school board attorney and were captured in the document for your review. If the revisions have been reviewed and meet the expectations of the board, I would like to ask the board for approval of all revisions in the addition of section B, trespassing, to policy KK, school visitors.
I move we approve policy KK, school visitors.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Call for the vote, please.
Dr. Rollins Fells? Mrs. Harris? Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Copeland?
Aye.
Mrs. Spalding?
Aye.
Ms. Carson?
Aye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
At this time, we'll have Dr. Joanne Jones with approval of policy IF, addition and deletion of courses and programs.
Good evening, Chair Carson, Vice Chair Harris, members of the board, and Dr. Parker. Tonight I bring for your approval policy IF, addition and deletion of courses and programs. The purpose of policy IF, addition and deletion of courses and programs, is to provide secondary schools with an opportunity to expand curriculum offerings to students in order to promote a college and career-ready learning environment. Accompanying regulations, IFR, pertaining to addition and deletion of courses and programs, is outlined with accompanying regulation documents, Form A, B, and C. I present this tonight for your approval.
Madam Chair, I move for approval of policy IF, addition and deletion of courses and programs.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, I actually have a question. I like this a lot. My question with this is, do we have a means by which we can address the student body population, get this out to them so that they can fill that out?
They can make a request to the school principal, and then the principal would designate staff member 2, and a committee would complete the process.
Okay.
And that would involve student input, but no, the students wouldn't actually complete the form, but they may definitely bring that to the principal's attention, and the principal or a designee could complete the process.
Okay, because I'm asking because I get stopped by students in the high school all the time wanting to offer, why don't we offer this, why don't we offer that? And it's like, so now I can just say, you should talk to your principal about this, because there is an actual mechanism in place for us to look at potentially adding courses like lab at the high school.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll move the previous question. Call for the vote.
Call for the vote, please. We need a motion.
Oh, I mean,
I did not hear you.
oh, sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Call for the vote, please.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Copeland?
Aye.
Dr. Rollins Fells? Mrs. Harris? Mrs. Spalding?
Aye.
Ms. Carson?
Aye. Thank you. And at this time, we'll have Dr. Calveric with a calendar adjustment for February 17, 2017.
Good evening again, Chair Carson, Vice Chair Harris, members of the board, and Dr. Parker. The 2016-2017 instructional calendar identifies Friday, February 17th, 2017 as an inclement weather makeup day. Caroline County Public Schools is requesting the school board approve a change to the calendar which would preserve the professional development plan, utilize bank time to address lost instruction, and continue to provide students with a 4-day weekend, as Monday, February 20th is identified as a holiday, President's Day, for both staff and students. I have attached to the back of your lead-in a copy of the calendar, if that is of assistance to you. I do also have information associated with bank hours, if that is of interest. Are there any questions?
I do have one question. If we use bank time for this snow day, for,
Correct.
having the children having the day off, and we have more inclement weather, or we don't use any more bank time, will we be able to take time off the end of the school year?
That is a conversation that would require some significant discussion. I will share with you that there are very complex formulas associated with deduction of hours and mandated 990 hours. We do exceed 990 hours. At elementary, middle, and high school, that number varies based on the length of their school day, and the shortest school day is elementary. So we use that as our guide. We know if we stay within our limits at the elementary hours, that we are well within our hours at the secondary level. And so if you deduct both of the snow days that we've experienced, plus this morning's 2-hour loss, then we still have a remaining 100.32 extra hours. Not extra, that is a poor choice of words. That is quality instructional time.
And to piggyback off that question, there's also contractual obligations that have to be considered as well with employees that have a 200-day contract, employees that are hourly wage earners. Shortening the instructional year would possibly impact compensation to a significant population of our employees.
Thank you. Is there a second to the motion? Is there a motion? Sorry.
Madam Chair, I move for adoption of the calendar adjustment for February 17, 2017.
Second. Call for the vote, please.
Mr. Copeland?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Dr. Rollins Fells? Mrs. Harris? Mrs. Spalding?
Aye.
Ms. Carson?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we're moving to new business with a review of the FY18 and discuss the governor's proposed budget changes with Dr. George Parker.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Under the consent agenda, we ask that the board give consent to my office and Mr. Martin to develop a proposed budget that takes into consideration the identified priorities for the FY18 budget. I thank the board for their approval of that process. At this time, just for a matter of formality, I would like Mr. Martin to just provide the public an overview of those priorities and any other items that he would like to share regarding the construction of the FY18 budget.
Good evening, Chairwoman Carson, Vice Chair Harris, members of, congratulations by the way, members of the board, Dr. Parker. Thank you for assistance at the workshop earlier this afternoon. The benefit of, just to go over it one more time really quick, and the benefit of the attendees here tonight. This is just our starting point in actually building the budget and getting ready to submit for approval in February for the board so that we may be bringing it to the county. Look at the next slide. As you can see from this, the proposed revenue is budgeted to increase by slightly over $2.4 million for fiscal year 17-18, some of which is coming from the state and some of which would be requested from the county. That is the detail of the state revenue increase. A couple of the major items that are included. Health insurance VRS, really unavoidable. And this is the list of, the final list of prioritizing needs and requests for the 17-18 year. We reviewed these at the workshop earlier this afternoon, and again, I thank you for your assistance and your comments and feedback. They'll be of great value to us in reviewing this one more time and beginning to put the detail together so we can present you with a budget proposal for fiscal year 17-18 in the near future. Budget requests, you can see, amount to $2,469,009. Happy to answer any questions you might have.
Just an additional comment on the budget proposal. We would like to obviously make these available to the public for review and consideration also, and we do have a budget work session scheduled for February 23rd with a follow-up public input, hearing following that shortly after February 23rd at 6 o'clock at Caroline Middle School. We hope that after posting this information for the public on the division website, that we will pique the interest of our, not only our constituents, all of our constituents, and they will participate in that hearing on the 23rd to give any further input that we may use to develop that proposed operational budget. The proposed operational budget will be presented to the school board for approval on February 13th. So with your, thank you for reviewing this, board members, and giving us an opportunity to get to work and start developing that proposed operational budget. At this time, Mr. Martin will answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you.
At this time, we will have the first reading request for proposals with an RFP for fiber-wide area network, WAN, and internet access with Mr. Raymond Murray. Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Chair Carson, Vice Chair Harris, members of the board, and Dr. Parker. I prepared this draft RFP for your review. The primary goal of this RFP will to secure the most reliable, efficient, and cost-effective wide area network and internet access for Caroline County Public Schools. Additionally, this RFP will seek similar services for the Caroline Public Library, where it may be possible to share resources. This draft's general information section, proposal requirement section, and attachments B and C will be reviewed by our attorney. Attachment A, the scope of work, will be reviewed by an E-rate consultant, who will make sure we remain in compliance with all rules, regulations, filing and application procedures, and deadlines of the Universal Service Administrative Company, Schools and Libraries Division, also known as E-rate. With the school board's February approval of this RFP, we will compile the board's suggestions, the attorney's suggestions, the consultant's suggestions, and then a final RFP is planned to be released on March 1st. We will close on March 31st. Any questions?
Thank you very much. At this time, Mr. Herman, you're back up with approval to remove timber from CMS.
Chairman Carson, Ms. Harris, members of the board, Dr. Parker, I'm here tonight to ask for approval to enter into an agreement with Caroline County, I guess it'd be Caroline County Public Works, to do a selective harvest that removes timber from the tracts of timber that surround here at Caroline's Middle School. And you'll see that, I believe you were given a handout earlier this evening, but it's the two parcels encircled with red, 14.5 acres bordering on Rogers Clark Boulevard and Devil Tree Jump Road, and another 4.4 acres that's adjacent to the middle school athletic area. The county has already entered into a timber management agreement with a harvesting company and has put other parcels of what is known as the poorhouse tract, which is what this is part of, and it carries over into the, behind the animal shelter. And it's a select cut, in other words, it won't be like we did at Madison or at the high school where we cut down everything. This will be just, we'll go in and selectively cut out the mature trees that are ready to be harvested to allow the rest of the trees to grow properly. And this is also probably the first step in the creation of our own cross-country track. So we'd be able to use this thin timber to area in conjunction with the land that the county has in order to start the creation of that. And I know that's been talked about for years, so this is where. And it'll generate, the projected renovation of revenue would be $17,384.79 based on the current market value.
Madam Chairman, can we go ahead and approve that now so that can be done? So I'd like to make a motion accordingly. Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I just would like to add that in regards to the, a track for cross-country course, that if memory serves, that's also going to be open to the public too, like a walking track for county residents as well. So it's not just a school thing.
No, it's a joint effort between Parks and Rec and the school.
Right. Okay.
Second.
The motion's been made and seconded. Call for the vote, please.
Ms. Harris, Ms. Copeland, second. Mrs. Spalding?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Dr. Ron Fells? Mrs. Harris? Mr. Copeland?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Would you, what I'll do is I'll draft a letter to the county. If Dr. Parker can sign that letter, then that will give him the authority to proceed.
I was going to mention that, Mr. Honan. I think the board will need to approve my signature of that document. So if we'll need a motion for me to be able to sign on behalf of the board for that sale.
I'll make a motion that Dr. Parker has the right to sign for that.
Any more discussion? Call for the vote, please.
Mrs. Spalding?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Dr. Ron Fells? Mrs. Harris? Mr. Copeland?
Aye.
Mrs. Carson?
Aye. Thank you very much. Mr. Honan, are you going to stay up there?
If you'd like for me to, just
Sure, might as well.
remember pictures.
This is for the informational update on the renovation projects at CHS and MEM.
It's probably the worst kept secret in Caroline right now, but it is in fact true that Madison moved into their new classrooms at the end of the Christmas break, and we've shuffled 11 additional classes.
11, yes.
We've shuffled 11 additional classes into the as a result of the renovation, and the administrative staff is moving into their space. Has been actively moving into their space. The media center's up and running, and so it was a long time in coming, but we're in the final little bit of that. So there's some pictures of some of the new spaces if you've not seen them. This is new furniture in. These are computer labs. Again, a computer lab, a conference room adjacent to the library. I guess just another view of the computer lab. Tried to get her to get some pictures of the actual kindergarten classes with stuff in them, but there's some in there? Okay, here we go. This is a corner of the library. Again, pictures of the library. There's the library, the books on the shelves. Here we go with some of the, I think these are kindergarten classes. This is part of the administrative, or I guess that's the, maybe the nurses area, it is another kindergarten class. I'll let you narrate.
This is the entryway to the main office. Again, the office. Reception area. This is entering in the back area of the clinic. You'll see the open restroom there. Again, the clinic suite. Conference room attached to my office. Another view. This is within the office suite as well, mailbox area. That's not my school.
Yeah, that's now we've got high school pictures.
I like that. I like that.
That's the new media center at the high school. High school again, books. This is the technology corner of the media center. Computer lab.
Technology will be there very soon.
The workspace at the library. Media center. This is the main entranceway to high school. In the reception area and at the administrative area to high school. The break room. There's a picture of the new gym. Set up for basketball. Looked like it was set up for a basketball game. As you can see, some progress has been made in getting into at the high school. A lot of the new areas are complete. We still have culinary arts and some CTE classrooms on the one side of the building to complete, that's the next big push. The library has been, the existing library has been, demolition has started, as well as in the old administrative area, demolition has started. So we're pushing to get those areas done, and that'll pretty much finish up most of what you would consider to be more the heavier construction that has to be done. From there on out, it's pretty much just redoing classrooms with new ceilings, painting, new air conditioning, and those types of things. So that's pretty much where we're at right now.
I have a couple of questions. Mr. Spalding and I were over at Madison this morning, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I think of all the renovations that we've done, it is the cornerstone and the standard that we would want to hold everything that we do from now on to. It is a class act. The only thing they need is blinds at those front windows, and at the high school too, because people in those areas where there's no, first of all, for heat and for cold, but also people are kind of sitting ducks in some of those offices, safety reasons for lockdown, and in the library at the high school, that whole wide expanse of glass, you know, for safety reasons. But it looks gorgeous at Madison. Even, I don't know how this was worked, but they have terrazzo molding in the hallways. It is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know how y'all work that magic and whatever had to happen to get it, but it is gorgeous there, and all the teachers are so excited, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous. And at the high school, it's nice, but nowhere near as nice. I mean, it's obvious the difference between what's done at Madison is just a class act. The high school has quite a few things that when Mr. Spalding and I were over there in the office, I mean, for example, the bathrooms in the office, I would like to know why you would have a glass panel in a bathroom door. Now, it is frosted, but why would you even have a door that has a frosted panel going into a bathroom? That doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I hope it's a mistake and they could maybe put those doors somewhere else. But, and I don't know why nobody else called that, but that's kind of weird. Then in the bathrooms, the adult bathrooms in the office, the tile, the linoleum tile, it looked like they were trying to stretch the pieces of tile. I mean, there are gaps, like quarter-inch gaps between the pieces of tile from the side of the toilet going all the way to the wall, and that is absolutely not acceptable. The window to Mrs. Spalding's office hasn't even been caulked. If somebody, they finally did that, okay. But those were just some things in the office. I mean, even where you go around the doorways, they haven't painted all the way down. Are they going to put molding around the edges of the door? Because the cuts of the tile and the way the carpet is cut up to them, it's just very, if you look at Madison and you look at that, I mean, are they finished in the office?
No, I mean, we still got punch list items to do.
Please look real carefully at those things, because it's just, I mean, they haven't painted all the way down and they don't have a finished product around the corners. It's just, it just doesn't, I mean, if you look at Madison and you look at that, it's like 10 to 1. I mean, you can't even compare it. I mean, everybody's happy with what they have, but it's just, I want them to have what Madison has. And the students and the faculty, you know, all of us deserve it. So thank you if you would look into those things.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I have a few things, but I'm not going to go into them tonight.
I'll be happy to.
We'll get together.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
But to back up what Mrs. Carson said, I was very impressed. Nice. Thank you.
And Madam Chair, just to reiterate that Madison will hold their ribbon cutting for their new spaces on January 18th, next Wednesday at 9:15 a.m. They have invited several elected officials, members of the community, Haley Builders will be represented, as well as the WPR. But if you are unable to make the AM ribbon cutting, they have tours arranged for parents in the community at 5:30 that evening. So you're welcome to come in the evening if you cannot make the 9:15 a.m. ribbon cutting.
Thank you, Jeffrey. And Mr. Martin, if you're going to give us the monthly update on revenue and expenditures. Thank you so much.
Evening, Chairwoman Carson, Vice Chair Harris, members of the board, Dr. Parker. I'm here to give you an update on revenues and expenditures through December 31st, 2016. I'm happy to report that there's no remarkable transactions to speak of in the month of December. That's always a good thing. Our revenues through 12/31/16 stand at $22,795,736.60, and our expenditures are slightly less at $21,542,379.86. What you're seeing behind you is a graph of how much revenue we have brought in. On the left is the current year, on the right is last year. And below, the two pie graphs below are the expenditures. Year to date, on the left is this year, and on the right is last year. Three of those make a lot of sense to me, because we're halfway through the year, and you like to see about half and half. That makes perfect sense to me, and it shows me that things are on a pretty even keel. The exception is the revenue for 2015-16, and the reason that graph looks like that is because I was working with Beth, and we had not made any significant transfers from the county to the school at that point. So it showed that we had quite a bit less revenue halfway through the year. If I adjusted last year's revenue to what it is this year, which would be about right, that pie graph too would be about split in half. So pretty happy with the way things are looking.
Are there any questions? Thank you.
You're welcome.
At this time, we will have board comments. Is there anyone on the board that would like to have some things that they would like to say?
I don't know if this is on or not, so I'll just speak up. I did have several comments, actually. Baby Fells has arrived. It's good to be back. So my son is home and very healthy. There were a few comments that I wanted to make in thanking our sponsors, Grand Canyon and the foundation with the grant. I think that's wonderful that we have community partners supporting our efforts and initiatives. The other thing that I wanted to speak to actually had to do with when I took on this role as an elected official. My goal was to be very clear that my perspective is to educate the students, empower the teachers, and inform the community. And what I saw happening, especially with the snow, was that our community members knew that they could go to the website, that they could email ask the superintendent. They knew that they could check the Twitter and the Facebook page and see what was going on. And I think that's a new thing for us. Instead of complaining within our homes or having more of the grocery store talk, doing something productive about it. I saw a lot of pictures being posted. And so I was really happy to see that the community members are informed and they have an outlet where they go, they're going to be heard. The other thing is, in being out last month, I did receive my packets, and I just wanted to commend the staff on presenting proposals that are based in national and international standards. This board is in a position of governance and monitoring, and it's very comforting to receive information that's grounded in something that is substantial. And so in moving forward, I just encourage the board to continue with the spirit of excellence. And as we open the doors to our new renovations, to really hold our students accountable to taking care of our investment, treating it with the pride and the beauty that it has right now, 2 or 3 years from now. And so I just wanted to thank our principals as well and just share my words and insight having been gone and my perspective in moving forward into 2017, especially as we enter budget discussions, to hold this board accountable to moving in excellence and being mindful of the culture and climate and the things that we need to consider when we're governing a system such as education. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yeah, real quick, I just noticed, I know we're recording this meeting. Hi, Mom. I saw the link on the website for the YouTube page, and followed that and made that available to like everybody I know. That has been great for providing more transparency in how we make the decisions and the information that we're provided. I'm very thankful that we have that available to us. That being said, one of my constituents said to me, and I didn't think about it till Dr. Rollins-Fell's microphone didn't work, is that they can't always hear us because our microphones don't always work. So they're getting probably about 80% of what we're doing here, and I've had to try to fill in the gaps as best as I can. So it would be greatly appreciated if we get all working microphones, because not everyone has the opportunity to be here. That's all. Thank you.
Does anyone else have a comment? Well, at this time, we'll have Dr. Parker with some superintendent's comments.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I'd like to again congratulate Madam Chair and Vice Chair for your election and the leadership of the board for the upcoming year. I was fortunate enough to attend the Board of Supervisor meeting last evening, and in a similar fashion, they elected a new board chairman and vice chair, which is Mr. Black and Mrs. Long. Just want to formally say that we look forward to their leadership and supporting the board and the collaboration with the Board of Supervisors moving forward to make this school division an exemplar for this region, which is the ultimate goal of everyone seated here. We're all invested. You know, I attended the state presentation in Richmond today, and again took a glimpse at how the state level funding is playing out with the governor's budget and proposed budget and information forthcoming. And it's just reasonable to say at this point that we're not going to see significant traction in the future with at the state level. It would be great to have more positive news, but I know that the localities have shouldered or much of the burden of funding schools in the past. And I look forward to having a collaborative discussion with our Board of Supervisors and our community on how we can better Caroline County Public Schools and how those resources that are provided can lead to a world-class school division. While our principals are here, I would like to, one, formally thank them for their hard work this year. We know that change leads to some uncertainty, reservations between staff members and the community, but we've changed a lot this year. And I think what we've done is we've changed our perspective on what we want to become. And I think to a person, our leaders, our building leaders have embraced that vision for moving forward with excellence. And I'd like to formally thank them for their leadership over these past months and the direction that they're setting and the course that they're setting for their schools and their children. With that said, Madam Chairman, I'd like to conclude my remarks and say that things are going well in Caroline County Public Schools, and I'm just proud of the folks who are recognized tonight for their efforts and in looking at innovation, looking at ways that they can reach students who are not being reached, looking at different ways to teach. I just think that we're heading in the right direction, and I thank you for your opportunity.
At this time, we're going into closed session to discuss personnel, the discussion of appointments, a reassignment, resignations, a retirement, a transfer, and revisions to the coaches list as authorized by Section 2.2-3711A1 of the Code of Virginia 1950 as amended. And discipline case 01-09-17.001.
I move for closed session.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we go into closed session. At this time, we will now go into closed session. Call for the vote.
Ms. Harris? Aye. Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Copeland?
Aye.
Mrs. Spalding?
Aye.
Dr. Rollins-Fells? Ms. Carson?
Aye. Now we're